Going into the 2025 season, Coach Kalen Deboer has his hands on everything. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide. Coach Kalen Deboer. We just might see a different type of coach in 2025. And we just might see a different Alabama Crimson Tide team. A team with a different attitude and a coach with a different attitude. So y'all better get ready for my Alabama Crimson Tide in 2025. But anyway, ESPN put out this article. Deboer says Alabama has a harder edge in his second season. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I'm trying not to get too excited about, this spring camp, which A-Day is Friday. But I'm trying not to get too excited about this spring camp, because every year we always hearing something good out of spring practice. And we get so hyped up about these players that we hear about during spring practice. Like you hearing about wide receiver Lachzere Brooks, wide receiver Isaiah Horton, cornerback Dejon Lee. I don't want to get too excited because, I remember Jake Pope and how he performed during the A-Day game. Name was called so many times, making big tackles, many tackles also, but he couldn't find his way on the field. We got excited. Well, I got excited about Malik Benson, who transferred from junior college or community college to Alabama, the number one wide receiver out of the community college. But he couldn't do nothing at Alabama. Didn't get targets at Alabama. So what's the point? Really, what's the point? So we get excited about these players from the spring, and they just don't pan out. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm excited about Dejon Lee. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to, put it out there too much. But I'm excited about what I'm hearing about Dejon Lee. But the fact of the matter is, Alabama, they got both starting cornerbacks coming back. So how much playing time will he get? We don't know. So me personally, I'm trying to hold the excitement down this spring. But come fall and we start hearing on what's going on, and if we hear some exciting stuff, it'll be something to report on. But we really can't get too excited until the product is put on the field and they perform. Now, if they come out and just blow Florida State out the water, then yes, OKB will be on 1,000. You can believe that. So I'm just trying to hold off on my excitement right now, but I got the utmost confidence in Coach Kalen Deboer and his staff in my Alabama Crimson Tide. But like I said, you just may see a different Coach Kalen Deboer this season in a different Alabama Crimson Tide with a different attitude. Okay, but let's get into this article, man. Coach Kalen Deboer has had his battles last year, replacing the legendary Nick Saban, the greatest college football coach of all time. Anyway, so Coach Kalen Deboer come in, replacing Nick Saban in the middle of the transfer portal. Some players transferred immediately. Some players waited, gave him a chance, okay? But Coach Kalen Deboer, he was in retention mode, trying to retain the current players that he walked into, or the current team he walked into. And with the help of Jalen Milroe, he was able to do that for the most part. But according to Deontay Lawson, Alabama linebacker, it was kind of hard on him for him to come in and be the bad cop or whatever last year. He's still laid back and he still wants the players to lead, but his fingerprints are on everything now. And he's made it known that you better be locked in. And that's why I say we might see a different Coach Kalen Deboer this season. If he's making sure everybody is locked in and he's coming in with the attitude that you better be locked in or else, then yes, we will see a different Alabama Crimson Tide. Yes, sir. Also, Deontay Lawson said it was hard for him to implement everything he wanted to implement because of the retention mode. You can't come in and be the badass right off the bat. You got to get those players to trust in you and to buy into what you are trying to do. Did that happen last year? We don't know. We don't know. I understand that we had players to stay and to play for Coach Kalen Deboer. A lot of them just wanted to continue to play for Alabama. You know what I'm saying? But with him coming in, he couldn't just be the badass right off the bat. He just couldn't. He had to get those players to trust in him, and a lot of those players are coming back this year. This year, with the same coaching staff, and I think the longer you're there, the more trust those players will put in you, and that way you can be hard on them, and you can talk to them in a different way. Right? Because if you come in trying to be a badass, trying to show these players up, talking shit to them, and you're a first-year head coach, with the transfer portal the way it is today, they're going to transfer on you. So Coach Kalen Deboer had to come in with a softer edge to get those players to trust him and to buy into him. And now that they trusting him a lot more, now he can be the kind of coach that he need to be. The kind of coach to get Alabama where they want to be. And for all of you haters that was jumping for joy that Alabama didn't make the playoff last year, you was jumping for joy and clowning Alabama, Coach Kalen Deboer, because they lost to Vandy or Tennessee, Oklahoma, Michigan in the bowl game. Like I continue to say, you're going to see a different Alabama team this year with a whole different attitude and a different style of play. Guaranteed. Anyway, as I said, according to Deboer, it was more that we were in retention mode. I wouldn't say that we slacked off on any of the things that would be the standard of what we need to do and how we... let me go back. I wouldn't say we slacked off on any of the things that that would be the standard on what we need to do and how you need to operate. But I do think there's another level of edge, a harder edge. Yes, you heard what he said, a harder edge. And that's what I just got through talking about. He can coach these guys harder now. He can be all up in their grill now because he got that trust in these guys. He got the trust in them. Yes, sir. And yeah, we went 9-4. We missed the playoffs, like I said. Lost to Vanderbilt for the first time in 40 years. Got blew out by a bad Oklahoma team, 24-3. At the time, they was 5-5, 1-5 in the conference. Yeah, we did that. And guess what? It ain't nothing to be ashamed of because those type of games happen. Give me another coach, first-year head coach at a new program that went 9-4 on the season or 9-3 in the regular season. Give me another one. You can't. Anyway, but that's not the standard at Alabama. And for Coach Kalen Deboer's sake, he cannot go have a 9-3 season this year and miss the playoff. Because not only Alabama fans are not going to have that. AD Greg Byrne, he ain't going to have that shit either. Our president, well, he ain't going to have that shit either. Nobody who got anything to do with the Alabama Crimson Tide pro football program is going to have that. We not going to tolerate it. But I believe in Coach Kalen Deboer. I believe in his staff, and I believe in my Alabama Crimson Tide football team that they will right the ship in 2025. I believe it. And I guarantee you every other Alabama fan believe it. And again, for you haters saying it's over for Alabama, Nick Saban is gone. Well, if that's the case, it was over for Alabama after the 2020 season, if that's the case. Because we ain't won shit since then, but what? SEC championship in 2023. We won one in 2021, but we didn't win a national championship. So it was over after the 2020 season when Nick Saban was still there. Come on now. Make it make sense, baby. Nick Saban is shit. I mean, he had his issues too, going out the door. Come on. Let's talk about it. Us Alabama fans was crying and complaining about our offensive line since 2021. Nick Saban was still there. Was he or was he not? As a matter of fact, Coach Kalen Deboer's offensive line in his first year did better than Nick Saban's offensive line in 2021, 22, and 23. Talk about it. Come on now. So yeah, we've been bad on the offensive line for quite a while before Coach Kalen Deboer got there. And with the addition of offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb, say it ain't so, baby. I guarantee you this offense going to be better. Guarantee. I'm willing to bet anybody on that. Anybody. With the addition of Ryan Grubb. But let's see what this part say about Ryan Grubb, man. But first of all, Coach Kalen Deboer said your relationships are deeper. You establish that harder edge because of understanding of what we need to do to accomplish it. And now we have the experiences for the most part together, the staff and the players. We are more comfortable now calling each other out because of our relationships are stronger. And we know that we all want the same thing. I feel like now we're closer to having that alignment between staff and players and having the right people here. Everyone has an appreciation for what each other brings to the table. They build in those relationships. They have built those relationships. And now those relationships are stronger. And as I said, they can coach these players harder. They can get up in their grill. And those players will know, hey, he's just trying to make me better. He's just trying to help me do my job in a more productive, consistent way. That's all they're trying to do. And now the players know that. And like I said, with the transfer portal last season, he couldn't get all up in their grill. He couldn't do what he wanted to do because they would have transferred out on him. Just like Jaheim Otis did. Jumped in the transfer portal in the middle of the season. Probably because he wasn't getting the reps that he wanted. But hey, that comes with a new coaching staff. Things you did with the old coaching staff, it don't work with the new coaching staff. So you couldn't, plus word was on the street that he was kind of injured too, but I don't know. But you come in there trying to be a hard ass and these players transfer on your ass, the same players that you came in there trying to retain. So, but this year, it's totally different, man. It's totally different. But, talking about Ryan Grubb. Jerry Bernard spoke on Ryan Grubb and Coach Kalen Deboer. Let me see what he said. Basically, he said, they always had the answers for everything, no matter what the opposing defense threw at the Huskies. That's what he said. Jeremy Bernard, former Washington Huskies wide receiver, who played for Coach Kalen Deboer and Ryan Grubb. said they had to answer for everything, no matter what the defense threw at them. And as we continue to say, those guys are two peas in a pot. They go hand in hand. White on rice, baby. Damn right. White on rice. Cereal and milk. That is Coach Kalen Deboer and Ryan Damn Grubb. Barbecue sauce and ribs. Come on, baby. That's them. They go hand in hand. And they feed off each other. You saw it way back in 2023 when they was in the national championship game. They lost. But they was there in their second year. Won 3 national championships in the NIAI, whatever it's called, back at Sioux Falls. 3 national championships out of 5 years. And they was in a 4th one. Went to Fresno State. Made that program better. Made Indiana better when they was there. They feed off each other. So we going to see in Ryan Grubb's first year as an offensive coordinator at Alabama, how him and Coach Kalen Deboer worked together at Alabama with some of the best talent that they ever had. And talking about the quarterback position, I'm sure those 2 guys is going to have their guy. They're going to have him, even though all of them is inexperienced, all 3 of them. Somebody might wind up transferring. I don't know. But they're going to have their guy for 2025. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee it. Damn sure is. Ryan Grubb. I think we've got 3 really, really good quarterbacks. I don't think that anybody has separated themselves. They're all playing good, but they're not playing great yet. You're looking for the guy that's going to be consistent, that can show up the same, and make the same plays all the time. All the time. Nobody expected Ryan Grubb to name a starter during the spring or even after the spring. Nobody. And if you did, then we can all speculate who that's going to be. All right. We can speculate Ty Simpson. We can speculate Austin Mack. We can speculate Keelan Russell. But we not, as fans, we not there. We don't see what these guys see. Okay? But let's support the guy who they named the starter. I don't even expect them to name a starter until right before game 1. If then. And they not going to name a starter. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because if they name a starter after the spring, somebody transferring. I can guarantee you that. They ain't going to have that. They not going to have that. But probably leading up to game 1, the week of game 1, they'll probably name a starter. The players will know who the starter going to be. We won't know, but I guarantee you them players will know. Even they'll know before the coaches even name the starter. Or he might just do like Nick Saban. Don't name a starter for game 1. Let the battle go in 2-3 games into the season. All of them, I think all of them are capable. But I tell you what, whoever the starter is, it's going to be the right guy. Because you already know Ryan Grubb is a quarterback guru. He is our quarterback guru. So, hey, it is what it is, man. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about Coach Kalen Deboer. Really, this Alabama Crimson Tide team, new attitude. Coach Kalen Deboer got his hands on everything. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback position, man. I think it's going smooth. Man. But I just don't want to get too excited about this spring camp, and the things that we're hearing. Mostly what we're hearing is about Miami transfer wide receiver Isaiah Horton, how he's performing. We was hearing about Lazia Brooks, Dejon Lee, and mostly the quarterback situation. That's really all coming out of this spring camp news-wise. So I done read a little bit on the linebackers. That's about it. Really haven't been hearing nothing on the running backs and offensive line and defensive line, secondary. Really not too much outside of Dejon Lee. But I think we're gonna be all right this in 2025. That's what I think. Now you know me. OKB always gonna feel like his Alabama Crimson Tide is capable of winning the national championship every damn year. Every offseason, I'm gonna say my Alabama Crimson Tide is gonna win a national championship because I believe it, because my Alabama Crimson Tide gave me the right to believe that. You know it, and I know it. So to you haters, Alabama ain't going nowhere. You can sit and talk about the 9-4 season. You can sit and talk about us losing at Vandy. You can sit and talk about us getting blown out the damn stadium by a bad Oklahoma team. You can sit and talk about us losing to Michigan twice in 1 year. You can talk about all that. But what you can't talk about is your success against my Alabama Crimson Tide team. Now, you might get a win here and there. But one thing you can't talk about is your team beat my Alabama Crimson Tide team on a consistent basis. You definitely can't talk about that. But OKB, he can talk about his Alabama Crimson Tide tearing your team out the frame year in and year out. Oh man, now one more thing. Y'all be blessed. And remember, OKB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.